In the shadowy annals of true crime, there are cases that send shivers down the spine, not because of their brutality, but because of the ice-cold calculation and remorseless precision of the perpetrator. What appeared to be a simple disappearance concealed a plan so meticulously crafted, it was horrifyingly perfect. Today, we delve into the tragic saga of Larry McNabney, a brilliant attorney who once commanded the courtroom, only to be brought low by the very woman he trusted above all others. The scene was a lavish California racetrack, bustling with the well-heeled crowd, the thundering hooves of horses, and the excited murmurs of spectators. Amidst this opulent spectacle, Larry McNabney suddenly collapsed. Eyewitnesses observed his wife, accompanied by her personal secretary, rushing to his side, their faces etched with apparent alarm, guiding him away from the commotion. A ripple of concern passed through the throng, but no one suspected the chilling truth. That was the last time the world would ever see Larry McNabney alive. To comprehend the intricate web of deception that ultimately ensnared Larry, we must rewind the clock several years, transporting ourselves to the dazzling heart of Las Vegas in 1995, a city that never sleeps, where neon lights blaze a vibrant defiance against the desert night. Here, Larry McNabney, then 46, was a titan of the legal world. Intelligent, handsome, and radiating an unshakable confidence, he was a star in Nevada's legal firmament. He had a reputation for tackling high-profile cases, his eloquent defenses and sharp legal mind often leaving juries spellbound, hanging on his every word. He was a force to be reckoned with, a man who seemed to have it all. Yet, beneath the polished facade of success and charisma, Larry harbored a profound vulnerability. He battled a severe addiction to alcohol, a demon that had already laid waste to multiple marriages, leaving him with a deep-seated loneliness that even his professional triumphs couldn't fill. This insidious dependence was his Achilles heel, a crack in his formidable armor waiting to be exploited. Then, one day, she appeared. Elizabeth. She was 28, with striking blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and a voice as sweet as honeyed wine. When she walked into Larry's office, she seemed like a fresh breeze, a burst of captivating energy that promised to sweep away his solitude. Within a matter of weeks, she had him utterly, completely, and irrevocably under her spell. Larry fell head over heels, consumed by a passionate obsession. He trusted her implicitly, believed in her entirely. Their whirlwind romance culminated in marriage, a union he believed would bring him the happiness he so desperately craved. But from that moment on, everything in Larry's life began to unravel with terrifying speed. Elizabeth swiftly began to assert her dominance, systematically seizing control over every aspect of Larry's existence. His phone calls were monitored, his finances became hers to command, and even his loyal staff found themselves answering to her. Cruelly, she orchestrated his estrangement from his own daughter, severing the last familial tie that held a genuine connection to his past. One day, a staggering $70,000 vanished from his bank account. Larry knew, deep down, that his wife was responsible for the theft. Yet, in a testament to his profound, misguided love and his desperate need to protect her perceived innocence, he remained silent. He took the blame himself, inventing excuses, meticulously shielding her reputation, even as his own crumbled around him. His once glittering legal career spiraled into ruin. He lost his law license, his name became tarnished, his standing in the community obliterated. And all the while, Elizabeth watched, a faint smile playing on her lips, her plan advancing with chilling precision, each step bringing her closer to her ultimate, sinister goal. With Larry's once illustrious career in shambles and his personal life under Elizabeth's iron grip, the stage was set for the final, devastating act. In their new office, Elizabeth brought in fresh faces to assist her, or perhaps to witness her reign. There was Sarah, a young woman who quickly became Elizabeth's confidant, her closest ally, and soon her lover. Together, they embarked on an extravagant spending spree, burning through Larry's dwindling funds as he spiraled deeper into the abyss of his addiction. He was barely present, a shadow of his former self, increasingly isolated and consumed by alcohol. But there was another presence in the office, a quiet observer named Jennifer, a secretary whose unease grew with each passing day. She saw the manipulative gleam in Elizabeth's eyes, the cold calculation beneath the sweet facade, and the systematic dismantling of Larry's life. Jennifer's gut instinct screamed that something was terribly wrong, an intuition that would, in time, prove invaluable. The climax of this insidious plot unfolded in September 2001 at a luxurious horse racing event in Los Angeles. Larry, Elizabeth, and Sarah attended, ostensibly for an evening of enjoyment. But beneath the veneer of high society, a chilling drama was playing out. Amidst a heated argument, Elizabeth calmly mixed a drink for her husband, a seemingly innocuous gesture that concealed a deadly secret. Into Larry's glass, she poured xylazine, a powerful tranquilizer typically used for large animals like horses. The effects were swift and brutal. The next morning, Larry collapsed on the racetrack, his body failing him. Elizabeth, with a performance worthy of an Academy Award, feigned panic and concern, whisking him away with Sarah's help, mutely telling onlookers that he was just tired. No one suspected the truth. They weren't taking him to recover. They were guiding him to his grave. The journey that followed was a descent into pure horror. Larry regained consciousness in the car, disoriented and terrified. He struggled, a brief, desperate attempt to fight for his life, even managing to momentarily choke Elizabeth before leaping from the moving vehicle. But his weakened state and the lingering effects of the drug made escape impossible. They recaptured him, forcing more sedatives down his throat. Somewhere along that desolate stretch of road, Larry McNabney, the brilliant lawyer who once commanded courtrooms, drew his last breath. He was dead, not by a sudden, violent act, but by a slow, calculated poisoning orchestrated by the woman he loved and trusted. With Larry's body now a grim secret, Elizabeth and Sarah drove to a storage unit where they chillingly placed him inside a large freezer. Then, with an audacity that defies belief, they continued their lives as if nothing had happened. They went on shopping sprees, indulged in lavish dinners, forged Larry's signature to sell his assets, and impersonated him in phone calls. All of this unfolded during one of America's darkest hours, September 11, 2001. As the nation reeled from the terror attacks, Elizabeth exploited the chaos, believing the world's distraction would provide perfect cover for her monstrous crime. Larry McNabney had effectively vanished, erased from existence by a meticulous, heartless scheme. But even the most perfect plans are susceptible to cracks, especially when built on a foundation of deception. Jennifer, the secretary who had watched Elizabeth's machinations with growing dread, could no longer ignore her conscience. Her mounting suspicion coalesced into certainty, and she bravely contacted the authorities. When the police finally arrived at Elizabeth's home, they found it abandoned. Elizabeth had fled, but the investigation was now in full swing. The search for Larry's body led them to a vineyard where they found his decomposed remains, still dressed in his beloved cowboy attire. The discovery was horrifying, but it was just the beginning of the revelations. The ensuing investigation exposed a truth far more twisted than anyone could have imagined. Elizabeth, the charming blonde who had captivated Larry McNabney, didn't exist. Her real name was Lauren Sims, a con artist with an astonishing IQ of 140, a criminal mastermind who had lived under no fewer than 38 different identities, racking up a long record of arrests for theft and fraud. The chase for Lauren Sims led authorities across the country, finally apprehending her in Florida. When officers took her into custody, she uttered a chilling statement, her voice devoid of emotion. "I have lived a lie for too long. Now I want it to end." Months later, Lauren fulfilled that grim promise, taking her own life in her jail cell. On a nearby table, a suicide note was found, addressed to her daughter. "I do this so you can move on, no longer haunted by my sins." Sarah, her accomplice, received an 11-year prison sentence for her role in the crime. Jennifer, the brave secretary whose courage brought justice to light, was lauded as a hero.
The tragic case of Larry McNabney serves as a stark reminder. A brilliant man brought to his knees by a toxic addiction and ultimately destroyed by the woman he loved. An intelligent woman who weaponized her intellect, twisting it into a tool of calculated destruction.
This story is a chilling testament that the most terrifying predators aren't always those wielding a knife in the dark, but those who smile while systematically dismantling your trust, your life, and ultimately your very existence.